Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show here for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, this is going to be one of these shows where I may go off. Let's just get into it. As y'all know, the Clippers are one of the poster childs in the NBA for load management. There are very few teams that do it to the level that they do. And every time some people within the organization are questioned, they always give you these answers that leave you scratching your head like, okay, you're like, what? Well, did this actually make sense? Like, I'm not sure if this is adding up. Now, as y'all know, the Clippers load managed their two stars heavily all throughout this season. Kawhi Leonard, I want you guys just to think about this for a second. Of the available 82 games, Kawhi Leonard played 52, right? 52 games, so he missed 30 games. 30 games. Paul George himself, he missed 56 games. And there's some ridiculous stat out there that has some stat that has to do with the amount of games Kawhi Leonard and both PG have played. I mean, it's a ridiculous stat. Ridiculous stat. Anyway, so the Clippers load manage. Now, according to the Clippers' philosophy, they were doing this, number one, to protect their players, no problem. But a lot of it was done as a precautionary measure to ensure that their players are 100% healthy to go by the time the playoffs roll around. Well, we all know what happened. Paul George got injured with about 3 to 4 weeks before the playoffs started. He never came back. And we all know that Kawhi Leonard got injured in Game 1. But now I'm listening to the Clipper general manager, Lawrence Frank. He said he got injured in Game 2. And if he did get injured in Game 2, again, there's some more confusing information out there, because if he was perfectly healthy in Game 1 and he got injured in Game 2, the report has been that, oh, no. What in fact has been happening is that Kawhi got injured in Game 1, and therefore he played through an injury in Game 2. So I don't even want to get into it, because the Clippers, with the way they release information, to me is just so confounding, the way they do the way they go about their business. But anyway, so they're one of the teams that said, oh, we're going to load manage, and then obviously it did not work. So at the end of the season, obviously you have your outgoing exit interviews, as they say. And yesterday, team general manager Lawrence Frank was talking about the team, and he talked about a range of things. But then it got to a particular part where he talked about their excessive load management, and he said that this team needs to look themselves in the mirror and start respecting the regular season. But before we get into his comments, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards, only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura, by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is play exactly what Lawrence Frank had to say here about his own team, and then we're going to come back and react to it. Take a listen to that.
Pride in terms of how that group competed in adverse situations, being without, our 2 best players, and those guys, maybe other than Game 2, gave ourselves an unbelievable chance to not just compete at high level, but potentially win the series. And I think it's a great reflection of the talent of the team. Ty is a terrific head coach, but there's also a feeling, you feel really bad. I feel bad for our fans. I feel really bad for Kawhi and PG, our team, the staff. Steve, because we feel like we let our fans and that group down. And I know it's, injuries suck, they suck, but they happen. And for Kawhi and PG, for everything they put into their bodies to be healthy at this time, and to be injured, it's devastating for them. They're agonized. It's painful. But I feel for our fans who've been there every step of the way, and for Steve, who's given us all the resources to try to achieve our goal each and every year, which is to win the championship. So that's hard. Yet at the same time, when you take a step back, what I don't want to do is have the injuries or how hard we fought in the postseason to mask a disappointing regular season. We have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to look in the mirror. It starts with me, and we have to get back to honoring and respecting the regular season.
So you heard what he had to say. Now he's saying that the team needs to put an emphasis on the regular season. Well, this is quite ironic coming from the general manager of the Clippers, who said it all starts with him. These guys, I'm talking about this team, have made it their business to be overly cautious with their players, to the point where you even have Paul George on his own show going out there and saying that he doesn't believe load management works, and he believes that this excessive load management may be leading towards injuries. He said he believes that when players are playing more and practicing more, it actually helps their body develop a callus and actually helps their bodies kind of adapt to playing a lot of games, and which makes them stronger. But constantly, playing one game, then resting, taking one game off, taking 2 days, and then starting up again. He said he believes that leads to injury. This is what one of their own players said. This is not what I said. This is not what the next guy said. This is what Paul George of the Los Angeles Clippers said. Those were his comments about what his team is doing. All right, that's Paul George. So to hear them say that, to me, I think it's comical, and I'll tell you why. Because we know next season they're going to do the exact same thing. The Clippers made it clear that they don't care about the regular season whatsoever. They were losing games, resting players on nights when they were perfectly capable of playing because there were no real injury reports, and they were just blowing games left and right. And what did they do? They got themselves in a situation where they were in jeopardy. Think about this, in jeopardy of landing in the play-in tournament. And what they ended up doing was they started now playing Kawhi Leonard these heavy minutes just to ensure that they would avoid the play, and ultimately got the number 5 seed, where they ended up playing the Phoenix Suns in round 1, and they ended up running his body into the ground because they were playing him at a rate that I guess he was not accustomed to, because they haven't been playing him that way all season long. So now for me to hear the Clippers say that, okay, now we want to put more respect on the regular season, I just scoff at that notion. You know what? I'll believe it when I see it. How about that? I'll believe it when I see it. This team is notorious for low management and losing games because they want to rest guys. Notorious. I was so frustrated with this team last year because when they went in that hunt to not to stay out of the play-in, I was so frustrated because I'm like, how do you find yourselves in a position like this with all this talent on this team, and you guys are fighting to not make it into the play-in because you guys gave away so many games all throughout the regular season, and now at the end of the season, you're panicking. It's like the guy that's in college, he doesn't study for the entire semester, doesn't do any of his projects, and then when it's like 3 weeks left in the semester, now all of a sudden he wants to do everything, and he's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, freaking out. Meanwhile, if you had taken the semester seriously, you wouldn't be under this level of duress at the end of the year. But this is what the Clippers did. So to hear him say that, to me, I think is the joke of the week. So we'll see what happens next season, but I'm skeptical. And I doubt that this team all of a sudden will start taking the regular season seriously and try to build the right habits and ensuring that their players are ready to go on a long playoff run. I doubt it. These are my thoughts.